Now that the warp gate has been successfully retaken, and the brave forces defending Aiur are reinforced, we can turn our attention back to Shakuras, and the troubling news that Zerg have already made landfall on this planet. Zeratul negotiates with the Dark Templar on our behalf and brings us to meet with the Matriarch Raszagal, leader of the Dark Templar on Shakuras. She is an ancient and venerable Protoss, old enough to have witnessed the deeds of Adun with her own eyes.
I am Raszagal, Matriarch of the Dark Templar, and I welcome you and your companions to our world. Zeratul has informed me of the fall of Aiur, and I am deeply grieved. I am one of the few Dark Templar old enough to remember our ancestral home with clarity. Yet no matter how tragic the circumstances, it is clear that fortune has reunited our people. We Dark Templar will never forget our banishment from Aiur, nor the Conclave's sins against us.
While she has not forgotten the horror of the Conclave's mistreatment of her own people, her wizened heart offers us mercy. She knows we come in dire need, and seeks to reunite the Protoss so that they may prosper together as one people.
But you and your companions are no longer of the Conclave. The example set by your fallen hero, Tassadar, has shown you that when the light and dark sides of our energies are united, our power is undeniable.
But Matriarch, the Zerg who have followed us here are unlike any enemy the Protoss have ever known.
Aldaris appreciates her goodwill, lofty though it is, but urges to focus on the matter at hand, the Zerg. Raszagal recounts how her people discovered a massive and ancient structure when they first arrived on Shakuras, a towering Xel'Naga temple, whose powerful, long-sleeping energies await, ready to be harnessed by our forces.
You speak the truth, Judicator. And yet, there lies a dormant power here that can help us to scour the Zerg from Shakuras forever. Long ago, we Dark Templar were a nomadic people. But when we found a remarkable monument upon this world, we decided to remain here to study it. We discovered that the enormous structure is actually an ancient Xel'Naga temple, dedicated to the race that sired us all. The temple is situated above a nexus of powerful cosmic energies. If we were to access those energies...
Then we should strike now while the Zerg still muster their forces.
Aldaris is all too eager to find a weapon they can use to tip the scales against the Zerg. Raszagal continues on, explaining exactly what we must do to activate the temple.
Alas, we cannot. In order to properly channel the energies of the temple, we will need the twin crystals, Urash and Callus, that legends say were separated many ages ago. The Urash is laced with pure Templar energies, while the Callus is comprised of dark Templar energy. Only by using these two crystals in unison can we hope to channel the potent energies of the temple.
Then it is clear that we must retrieve these crystals, wherever they may be.
Agreed.
The structure requires two special twin crystals crucial to its operation, the Uraj and the Callus. Each one radiates pure energy, specific to either the Kali or the Dark Templar. With these two crystals activated together, the temple can release a powerful force, identical to the one Tassadar summoned to destroy the Overmind. Artanis and Aldaris are excited to gather the crystals, but Raszagal requests that we first secure the temple's outer grounds before trying to infiltrate it.
But first, we must deal with the Zerg and their two cerebrates who have already taken up station around the temple itself. To arms, my children. Scour the temple grounds of this foul infestation.
Upon the activation of Aiur's warp gate, two Zerg cerebrates slipped through its portal to Shakuras. Drawn to the latent energies that reside under the temple, these ambitious swarm commanders have infested the temple grounds. If we are to activate the temple to our benefit, we must first cleanse the Zerg from its surrounding areas. Our forces deploy on the outskirts of the temple grounds. Zeratul reminds us that the Cerebrits must be destroyed using the Dark Templar we have at our disposal.
Remember, young Templar, Cerebrits can be killed only by Dark Templar weapons and energies. My brethren will make short work of any Cerebrit.
However, the area surrounding the temple is crawling with Zerg spore colonies, poised to blast our shuttles out of the sky and reveal the Dark Templar to the enemy forces.
Yes, Executor. Our sensors show that the two Cerebrits are surrounded by spore colonies. We will deploy our Corsairs to compensate for their defenses.
Adon Toridas. I stand ready. Ready for battle. May I be of service? Look at all the pretty lights. I wonder what this button does. I think this was a big mistake. The moon is in the house, and we better align. Zephyrin Cochrane, is that you? What did you do to your hair?
To deal with this, Zeratul has deployed new units to our army, the Dark Templar Corsairs. These Masters of the Sky wield weapons which can only target other flying units, but have a secret weapon that will help us punch through the Zerg lines, the Disruption Web. When properly utilized, the Disruption Web shuts down any unit or structure in its area of effect, rendering it helpless and unable to attack. To demonstrate their abilities, a squad of Corsairs flies in with some accompanying Dragoons to secure a nearby cache of resources. As we begin to strengthen our vanguard, Zerg overlords begin dropping in enemies to stop us, but to no avail.
Yes. So my life for I. Yes, she house. Warriors have engaged the enemy. Us I serve. For a diamond.
All of their attacks on our forces are dashed away, like waves breaking upon a rocky shore. Our veteran forces are more than capable of dealing with their tactics. Once we have a sizable force, our new Corsairs take to the skies, ensuring our safe landing by knocking out their air defenses. A strike force of Dragoons, Reavers, Zealots, and a few Archons soon blitz the Zerg base, cutting through their meager defenses like a psionic blade through butter.
Your warriors have engaged the enemy.
As we dismantle their structures piece by fleshy piece, our Dark Templar forces soon join us to assassinate the Zerg Cerebrits as their forces fall. With no one to direct their psychic hive mind, the Zerg forces scatter and run away from the battlefield, except for a singular overlord, which appears to be urgently heading towards the temple. And who should emerge from that overlord but none other than a familiar face? Kerrigan, smiling devilishly from ear to ear. Without hesitation, she approaches both Aldaris and Zeratul, who are watching the destruction of the remaining Zerg base.
Well done, mighty Protoss. I'm glad to see that you all are as violent as ever.
Kerrigan, what mockery is this?
Relax, warriors. Despite what you may think, I haven't come here to fight you.
In an uncannily friendly tone, she offers us something unheard of from the Zerg. Peace.
This is laughable. Do you truly expect us to believe that your intentions here are honorable? That these Zerg here are not under your sway?
Aldaris and Zeratul can't help but laugh at her peace, and remind her that she and her kind are nothing more than the enemies of all who live and breathe.
Look, the Cerebrates you've killed were my enemies as well. If you let me explain, I'm sure you'll understand that—
You are the enemy of all who live, Kerrigan. What makes you think we would have anything to do with you?
Because, Zeratul, I bring news of an event that threatens us all. If you'd be so good as to escort me back to your citadel, I'll tell you everything I know.
Kerrigan, unfettered, volunteers herself to be taken into custody. She comes bearing news, and says she hopes that both the Protoss and her own forces might survive through to the end. Raszagal, wondering if this is a lapse of good judgment, nonetheless reaches out and gives approval to have Kerrigan brought back.
Very well, Kerrigan. We shall hear what you have to say. But be warned, we will not suffer your treachery here.
She lets her know that while she is allowed to speak to the Council, any treachery, trickery, or malfeasance of any kind will mean a swift and merciless death.